There. So we got that working. Now in order for a swamp cooler to work, you got to have water. So let's go see how the water's doing out there. Okay, there's the swamp cooler, and as you can see, there's a little bit of water in the bottom. Now, what I had to do with this thing, there was a couple of things wrong with it. One of the things I think I showed you before is I patched up some leaks. And I put water in it, and I found there was one more leak. I think it's right here, right there. Got to patch that up. That's why I've got it drying out a little bit. I've run the water out of it, and I've stuck this wedge in there to try and get the water to run up there to get that spot dry so I can seal it up. Now, the float valve in this thing was so old that it wasn't working anymore, and I'd already had to repair it once and remove it and put it over here, which is kind of a Rube Goldberg thing. Originally, it went back there in that hole, and obviously I can't put it in that hole anymore. For one thing, that hole is all rusted out. Can't use it, and it's against the wall here, and I can't get in there anyway. So I had to do something else. So what I did was I made this little rig here to put a new float valve in. As you can see, I've fastened it up here. It's a little arm that comes down here, and now I've got a new float valve that I've put on. And to me it looks like it's going to work pretty good. Now what this block of wood is for is if you don't have it in here, see, it kind of wobbles. Don't want that. So this block of wood will give it stability so that it'll regulate the water properly. Now I've got to hook that up, and well, it's already hooked up and it's running. I've just got to wait until it dries so I can fix that little leak I found right there. And once I fix that, then we'll fill it up again and see how it goes and put the sides on. And then we're in business for the cooler. And once we're in business with the cooler and everything works, then we can put all of the sides on this thing. And that would mean like this side. You can see there's no windows here. And that's right now because if I try to put the windows up, it'll be intolerable in there. Even though the other end way over there doesn't have any windows either. It'll just get really hot on one end. So, get the cooler working, then I can put the sides on, turn the cooler on, we can keep it cool in here, or at least tolerable for now, and we'll get on with the construction. It's coming along real good. Thought I'd do a shot from up here to show you how the progress goes. You see there's the cooler, the windows on that side. You've got that little strip of window to put in right there on both sides, and then I'm going to put the window in on this side. But you can see all the rest of it's in. It's taking shape. It's looking pretty good. Okay, it is the 21st of July today, 2016. And remember, I put this grapevine on a trellis a while ago. And this seems to be doing quite nice. There's another one I got to show it where the trellis is, but it seems to be doing pretty good. And I'm trying to help it along here, but it's looking good. It's healthy. It likes this apparently. Now what I did was, this one here was getting out of control as I showed you before, and just a couple hours ago I put this new trellis in. Now I didn't do anything fancy with this one like over here, I put these poles in to try to stiffen it up. I thought, well, I think it'll probably of its own, accords hold up just fine, because as the grapevine goes through it, the grapevines do get fairly thick and stocky. I'll probably keep it stiff or whatever, but I picked this one up, see, and I've threaded it through there, and see they're leaning over like, I don't know, they didn't like to be messed with, but I'm sure they'll come back. But anyway, so I got this other grapevine here now that's on the trellis, and I think that'll work out just fine. Now the reason they're like they are, and let me tell you, is remember the other greenhouse, and I'll see if I can insert some video in here. I used to have a tomato run here. There was 12 or 13 tomato plants here, and that year I didn't want the grapes anymore. I just thought, what do I want the grapes for? And I just got frustrated with them, so I started cutting them back. And what I did is I cut them all the way to the ground, planted the tomatoes, let the tomatoes grow up, and every time one of these grapevines, reared a little shoot or something, I'd cut it off as quick as I could. There were 4 of them there. And I just cut them back and cut them back and cut them back. And to show you how tough they are, you see these were, the ones that you see here were cut back severely that whole season last year. And you can see they're still trying to grow. So they come back and they're doing fine. And let me show you one more thing. There were 4 of them here. Let me grab the camera and show you a close-up of something that's a little astounding. Remember, I said there were 4 of them. Now there's the one, and look at the how much circumference, how tough that stalk is. And there's the other one. Let's see if we can find the source of this. You can see it's in here. It's hard to see, but there were 4 of these. Now look at this. You can see this stump right here. But look, there's leaves coming up. It's trying to come back. And then there's this other one right here. You see that stump? Now I gave up on this, but I think I don't know which is which, weeds or which, but I think this might be a shoot trying to come up. So I'm going to let it grow and see what happens. And I think it'll be kind of neat if all 4 of these came back to life after being abused so intently last year. That'll be amazing. So anyway, we'll see what happens. For those of you who are recyclers, you'll be really happy with what I did with this. You see this trellis. There are 2 pieces of fence here. If you really look closely, you can see right here there's a joint and they overlap. See, and see where it's double right here and it's double right there, and then it's a single fence. What these were 2 pieces of fence that I had rolled up, and I was using them as a tomato cage. And so what I did was I unraveled the tomato cage and then I put them together, and now they're in one nice long trellis. So that was on the junk pile basically. And rather than going to get some new fence or figure out what to do with the trellis, it worked. This is going to work great. So there we go. More junk being put to use. Well, it is the middle of October right now, and I thought I would just fast forward into the future to show you what became of those grapevines that I was telling you I tried to get rid of last year. Now, the last video was taken in the middle of July. So July, August, September. There's a couple of months here. And look what's happened. You can see these things have grown all the way to the top. This is how grapes propagate. They are just crazy. There's also a tomato plant in there that you can see that has weaved its way up through there, and I've tried to help that one out. But remember, there are 4 plants here, and I can't get in there right now to see. But the 3rd one that in the last video that I was telling you, I think that one's coming back. That one definitely did come back. The 4th one, I'm not so sure. But in any case, see, there's my electric outlet back in there. See, it's just about covered up. And if we go from this side, you can see that thing really took over the trellis. So there you go. It looks like it survived.